Okay, we'll call this council regular session to order. It's Wednesday, June 5th. The time is 7 p.m. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we'll go ahead and open up for visitor comments. If you'd like to make a comment, come on up, keep that 3 minutes or less, and state your name for the record.
The real reason I came. A couple things, I'll go back to Ginny Carlson from St. Helens. Just because of the history about the events and stuff, I was down here, was on council when you couldn't beg people to do 13 nights. Couldn't find a volunteer, couldn't pay anybody enough money to do 13 nights. And it was at that time that I did some research. Not everybody's gone to Oktoberfest in Mount Angel. And that festival began in 1866, and they've given over 3.5 million to nonprofits through that festival. A 1 weekend festival. And that's how all of their nonprofits in that little tiny town hold services together for their community. You know, it's worked for them for a long time, and it's been successful here. And I know that there's a lot of discussion, a lot of people with their agendas, but it's like the community benefits go to children's fairs, it goes to the parade, it goes to citizens CERT team. It all makes the community a better place. It's that school can't fund it, the city can't fund it. And these nonprofits, it's their biggest fundraiser for the whole year. And so, I mean, do you want less scholarships? You want less children's fairs? What do you want? When you know, nobody can find employees these days that will show up. So when you find an organization that's willing to show up and that's committed to their community, I don't think that city should be damping that down. I think they should be encouraging volunteer spirit, not putting up barriers. And just, no matter what you do about the whole events, whatever side your thing is on. One thing I learned on this body is actions have consequences, and they usually involve attorneys and big bills. So I want to make sure that for the sake of the city, for the sake of our finances, that all those precautions have been taken. Because just when you think nobody could take legal action, they can. So we've been through a lot, and I want to say that everybody can do positive and do right by our community. But unfortunately, there's some negative people out there that are hell bent on doing bad things. So I just want to make sure that you guys are dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's on this issue. Because it can get really messy and nobody wins then.
All right, who else would like to speak?
Brady Preheim. I'd actually agree with Adam's comments this afternoon that everybody is biased on the tourism, which is why I have advocated again and again that you hire someone professional. I think that your process is flawed, but there are biases and then there are biases. This is the comment that Ginny, that I handed out to you. I don't know if you've read it, but I want to read it for the public record. My personal opinion, this is from Ginny Gilbert. My personal opinion, the city is better off without a subpar contractor. We deserve a professional. I hope we get many applications for the tourism contract job, and we get a suitable tourism program off and running in this beautiful city. We should be a wealthy, thriving community. E2C's comments today show she's no professional. Yet again, party planner, okay, maybe. Oh, and you can screenshot this because I'd say it again. There is no person, even Adam, that could hear somebody write that and then think that that person should be part of your selection committee. You need to take action. She then went on to write and says, Brady, I can't help but ponder if Tina offered you something as well as several others. Not sure, speculation, but again, guess we will find out. You don't seem to want to understand what everyone else does, that via the evidence promised, Tina Kennard enters all of her aliases after not operating legally. Maybe she doesn't understand. I don't know. We will find out. There's legal entities in place to oversee such matters. I don't even know what she's talking about. And her letter, which I don't know if you read it, I'm not going to read the whole thing, to the mayor who he responded to, was really a crazy rambling on about E2C. I mean, she stalked Tina to another town even. And again, for you to appoint that person and have them part of the process, puts you guys at legal liability. And again, I don't think anyone can deny that this is a person that does not deserve to be on this committee. And I am certain that Mark did not understand that or know that at the time, but you do now. And your obligation as a council and as him is to withdraw that. And any process that you do that includes that person is going to be subject to legal action. And I don't think it's worth it. And clearly, this is a bias that is not, this is more than just bias. This is craziness.
I just wanted to let people know, because Ms. Preheim brought up Mark, Councilor Gunderson is been excused for this meeting, just so people know. Who else would like to speak?
Patrick Berkeley, St. Helens. First, I got a chance to watch the YouTube video a bit. I didn't catch the part where it seemed Mr. Walsh referred to some attacks against our city recorder. It just shows, I don't know, the gravity of our public system when public servants are trying to do their best job. If they see fit to be subjected to that. I knew nothing. All I ever knew when I was on council was the excellent professional work done by city reporters.
Thank you.
Second, public comment I don't know the exact details. I understand you are considering eliminating public comment at your work sessions. I encourage you not to do that. I know you have to conduct your business in public, that you do not have to receive a public comment, but I believe this is one of the, I think, the prides of the St. Helens City Council, that compared to a lot of cities, I mean, we used to have 5, we went to 3 for, I think, some good reasons, but to continue with it, it gives people an opportunity to speak who might not otherwise have that opportunity in this process. Third, I do want, since it was brought up publicly about no, I'll talk about your process first. You chose a process. You should be commended. It's a normal part of municipalities put out RFPs. We do that. You do that for everything. Tourism events should have. We should have done that in the past. You're just doing what you're supposed to do. We've had practice where we've had longstanding contractors for accounting and things like that. And I remember we put out an RFP because, you know, see what's out there. You did the right thing. You put out an RFP. Maybe it should have all been done sooner, but you did it. You follow the process, stick to your process. I too might have some concerns about exactly how the committee was put together, but I'm not going to undermine or question the integrity of those individuals. I believe that they accepted this and are trying to do their best, just as you are. So follow the process. I understand there was a kerfuffle with you know, the scoring and the evaluations and things like that. Follow the process. Most of the testimony I've heard in favor of one particular person is frankly irrelevant if you follow your process, where you have a scoring system and you base your decision on that. Whether you like or dislike the current contractor or other people who submitted RFPs, you bravely chose a process, continue to do that, continue to follow the process that you chose.
I'm St. Pierre, sorry from a little coarse. I'm not sure if it's my allergy to elephants, giraffes, pollen, but we have a circus going on here. It's pretty bad. We have a process. We put it into play. Let's follow through with that process. You know, every counselor here chose an individual to be a representative, to be, you know, on the committee. There's a reason for that. we have 10 people, so that if there is a rogue person, if assuming that there's a rogue person, it's a less influential number. We've all seen the list of people. There's a lot of questionable people, you know, in my opinion. But you let the process play out. And I appreciate you guys going to that. But what happened this afternoon is unreal. At this point, it's either intentional or incompetence. It looks like another delay tactic. And we've had so many of those. It's ridiculous. So we need to get down to the nuts and bolts. This is where we are. Council needs to do what they need to do. The RFP went out. It was a fair process. Get it done. That's all we need to do. It looks really, really bad. And, you know, Rick, this is looking bad on you. This is your council here. And if the person who's running it, this tourism RFP is John, he's making you look bad. And so we need to get this done. We need to get it over. And, you know, you guys took this on. It's not fun, but we're there. So we've gone through all these steps. Everything is there, you know, threatening litigation because of this and that. The process was there. We talked to the attorneys, or at least we were told we were talking to the attorneys, and this was all approved by the attorneys, or without more incompetence or intentional delay. I don't know. I'm not going to make those assumptions. I'm not going to threaten legal action. But if there's a problem here, it needs to be addressed, and somebody needs to take the leadership role and do it and address it. So, thank you.
I wasn't planning on speaking. Jenny Gilbert, St. Helens. I would like to remind you all that even though it's public comment and people have freedom of speech, I don't have my packet because John put it back. In the RFP, it says that people are not supposed to try to intimidate or harass the board. And I feel like the pending, like the quotation, like possible lawsuits is trying to intimidate people that are making a decision with the RFP. I want to remind you all that we all discussed tourism on the budget committee. There's been a lot of questions. Everybody has asked questions. I asked questions. Okay. So I feel like John particularly needs to get people under control, because I do feel like this is in violation of specifically what it said not to do to the board members of the RFP considerations. That's all I have to say.
Other visitor comments? Anybody on Zoom? Okay. All right, emergency ordinance number 3301, an ordinance amending the St. Helens Municipal Code, chapter 8.24.120 and 8.24.200 regarding alcohol in city parks, specifically in McCormick, and declaring an emergency.
It's funny to say.
Yeah,
Emergency, we need alcohol.
it does sound.
I just read that. I was like, wow.
So that like the make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance number 3301 as read.
And I get a second. Second. Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve ordinance 3301. Council President Chilton.
Aye.
This is Sunday.
I am a no, because for me, it's an inconvenience, but I don't see it as an emergency.
Councilor Hubbard.
Oh, let's see here. Well, implementing it wouldn't be it'd just be allowing it. It'd still have to be implemented with OLCC rules
That's
and
right.
regulations.
Garden, all of it
Yeah,
regulated.
that's all it-
Because I've seen events here in the city that totally disregarding of what I understand OLCC wants.
Yeah.
And with the monitors and all that, so. You know, I'll agree to it.
Okay, and I'm an aye as well, although I do agree with Councilor.
So an emergency ordinance needs to be approved unanimously, otherwise it fails.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It looks like it failed then, unless Councilor Sunday would like to.
I was gonna say, maybe stating for the record what the emergency is.
The emergency is to allow for 13 nights from 6 on Thursday nights from 6 to 10 o'clock. alcohol in the park for that special event that's monitored. Because there is no alcohol allowed in the reason it's an emergency is because of the timeline that the 13 nights has started. Actually, it will not be allowed tomorrow because this is the only way to make it acceptable for the next 3 concerts.
There's a financial component to that.
Yes,
that
that
If we don't,
feeds
that is
for the band and pays.
a lot of revenue that comes in.
And what does calling it emergency do rather than just going through the normal timeline?
It's approved in a single reading, that's what the emergency is. Some cities do everything emergency, and it is, I agree that it is kind of a. So it doesn't seem like a real emergency, but it is the financial need of the event, and
I think there should have been a little bit more discussion on this before there was a motion made and seconded. In the future, if we have stuff like this, because I don't know what, the difference between emergency and, but we need to.
Especially that it
Yeah.
would be unanimous.
Yes.
yeah, and you don't do it very often, so this is just a timely thing related to the financing of the event.
So, we had a motion that was made and didn't pass. Can we, with more clarification, can we make that motion again?
You can, if the motion did not pass.
Yes.
You make a new motion. Over top of that, that's what I think. Is that right?
Okay.
Yeah, only once, so.
An ordinance number 3301, an ordinance amending the St. Helens Municipal Code, chapter 8.24.120 and 8.24.200 regarding alcohol in city parks, specifically in McCormick Park, and declaring it an emergency. And the reason this becomes an emergency is because, and we'll go ahead and do. I'm doing a motion first, I guess.
That's why you were reading it. I thought you were reading it
Well,
like that.
doing a
motion.
motion.
Okay, I'll make another motion. I motion that we approve ordinance number 3301 as read.
Okay, and then. You want to still second? Sure. Okay. And then again, as Mr. Walsh was clarifying, the reason it needs to be an emergency is because the ordinance usually have a first reading and a final reading. So this will allow it to be active, not for tomorrow, but for the next Thursday, which is how the concert series pays for itself is on the alcohol revenue. It's from 6 to 8:30-ish. Yeah. Is what it goes to, so.
I understand the reasoning behind it. My only thought is, if this had been put on the agenda a month ago, and then we wouldn't have had to have called it an emergency.
Yes. Yes, it could have. So, I agree with your comments 100%, Councilor Sunday. There's been a lot of different things going on lately that, with this. That have been difficult lately. So any other discussion on it? And that being said, Council President Chilton,
Aye.
Councilor Sunday.
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard. And I'm an aye as well. General resolution number 2005, a resolution authorizing the interagency agreement for reimbursements of materials and services for activities relating to preparation, adoption, and implementation of the St. Helens Urban Renewal Plan.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 2005.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution 2005. Council President Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Sunday.
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard. And I'm an aye as well. Okay, now we'll have public comment on our fee increase, planning department. Going up basically 3.8%. As discussed earlier. In our work session. Anybody on Zoom? Okay. Resolution number 2013, a resolution of the City of St. Helens Council to set planning department fees.
Move we adopt resolution number 2013.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution 2013. Council President Chilton.
I just want to make one quick comment about it, which is I am always don't like to have to raise fees. I don't think it's something that anybody can afford to pay right now, but I also feel like our planning department, wouldn't ask this of us if they really didn't believe it needed to happen. So, and I respect their, ability to make these decisions and, yeah. Everything's going up and we just are gonna have to adjust as well. And I,
Councilor Sunday? Aye. Councilor Hubbard? Okay, and I'm an aye as well. Yeah, I appreciate Jenny Carlson's comments earlier about going up, affordability. Okay, fiscal year 2023-2024 budget resolutions. Okay, here we go. So, resolution 2006, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of St. Helens, Oregon, adopting and appropriating funds for supplemental budget for fiscal year 23-24.
move we approve resolution number 2006.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution 2006.
Discussion.
Yep.
So I'm not exactly sure what the changes are, to be frank. I looked through the memo and it's hard for me to distinguish, everything in that memo is what is happening.
Sure. So the first resolution, this one, 2006, what occurred there was when the original budget was adopted, there was not a category for capital outlay. And then when the city bought a piece of property on Castor Road, that is considered capital outlay. And so this just makes that category, and it transfers what was appropriated from another category and puts it into a capital outlay category. It's still balanced. There's no extra money that we're spending. It's just how it was spent.
So this specific, budget change is just for the capital outlay.
Correct.
And are there gonna be other resolutions in here, the other resolutions that have different changes?
So the next resolution, 2007. That one. That one is to appropriate 3 different grants. So the first one is a planning grant. And the next one is a police grant for it's called a COPS grant, and it's for provisioning forensics workstations. And it was not anticipated at the time that we did the budget for 2024. So this just, we've received the grant award, and in order to expend those grant funds, we needed to do this resolution. Also on there is for the library, for the solar array that's going to, expenditure is going to start before the end of this fiscal year. So we needed to appropriate that, and that's also grant funds. So all 3 of those are grant funds.
Okay, makes sense, thank you.
And then the resolution 2008. There's the detail on Exhibit A, and it takes appropriation from one category and puts it to another so that all the categories are balanced. It is not extra.
Okay.
It's just realigning where it's being spent.
Okay. Okay, so we have any more discussion on resolution? We have a motion that's been made and seconded on resolution 2006. Any more discussion? Not seeing any or hearing any. Council President Chilton.
Aye.
Council Sundin.
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Resolution number 2007, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of St. Helens authorizing a transfer of appropriations for fiscal year 2023-2024.
Move we approve resolution number 2007.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution 2007. Council President Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Sundin.
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Resolution number 2008, an appropriation resolution of the Common Council of the City of St. Helens for the fiscal year 2024.
We approve resolution number 2008.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution 2008. Council President Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Sundin.
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard.
Aye.
As well. Fiscal year 2024-2025 budget resolutions. Resolution number 2009, a resolution of the City of St. Helens declaring the city elections to receive state revenues. So this is just basically state revenue sharing that comes in, allows us to say, yes, we'll receive it and adopt it into our budget.
Move we approve resolution number 2009.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution 2009. Council President Chilton.
Discussion real quick.
Oh.
Yeah.
So immediately following this one in the packet, Gloria, there's a memo. Is that, how do those correlate?
So, the one that you're talking about now, 2009, it's a formality required by the state in order to receive state shared revenue. It's, the city's apportionment of, cigarette tax, liquor tax, and other state shared revenue.
Doesn't have to do with officially adopting anything in the memo that's immediately after it.
Right. That, starting with 2010 will be what's covered in the memo.
Thank you.
When we get to that, we'll just have Gloria.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Council President Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Sundin.
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard. No, and I as well. Resolution 2010, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of St. Helens in adopting budget, making appropriations, and levying and certifying taxes for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2024. Now, we'll go ahead and someone will make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2010.
Second.
And, okay, now we'll have discussion. So, there's obviously little sections.
So yes, it's referring to the memo and where those fall into these resolutions.
Okay, so everything as far as, I believe you're pointing out the reductions from the approved budget to the budget before you. They are all concerning the general fund. And it's the failure of the police levy, which reduces the revenue of $800,000 and the expenditure of $800,000 in the police department. And then we had talked about management had talked about doing some other reductions, primarily in IT and in order to say have a half-time or a part-time parks person. And so that is reflected in the resolution,
Which one?
the 2010.
Okay.
That's regardless of how we might change those actions, those personnel actions after adoption should not affect any expenditures.
it should not affect any of the appropriations that are within this resolution. So we're still doing discussion about how we want to do the IT and how we want to do. And I believe Mohammed spoke with you, Counselor Chilton, about that. So any of those changes wouldn't affect the appropriations that you're doing on tonight on this, but on this resolution.
It's just, it's hard to understand because it's mentioned in the memo. So I'm trying to make sure I know what I'm voting on.
Right, so the memo and the resolution contemplate doing a part-time IT and a part-time parks administrative assistant. That's what the memo refers to, and that is what is in the budget.
That was one question I had too, because just reading through the packet, that's the first time I had heard anything like that, so. A little bit of a surprise. The other question I had is it mentioned specifically that the budget committee recommended for approval the additional $15 public safety fee. That's not being approved at this time, is it?
No, just because of the levity around that, we wanted to give you the opportunity, you, the council, the opportunity to be more contemplative about that and review it. We'll give you more information however you want to talk about that. But we didn't want to put that in the budget for you to adopt until you had that opportunity to communicate with the public and everything before you make that step.
Okay, any other questions on 2010? Okay, not hearing any, Council President Chilton,
I'm a nay.
okay, Councilor Sunday.
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard. Okay, I'll be yay. So we have a tie on a budget matter here. Which means motion fails. Okay, resolution number 2011. Resolution of the City of St. Helens establishing St. Helens employee compensation schedule for fiscal year 2024-2025.
I move we approve resolution number 2011.
Second.
And motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution 2011. Okay. Aaron, any? Council President Chilton,
Aye.
Councilor Sunday, for Hubbard, and I as well.
Mayor?
Yeah.
May I?
You may.
I will need some direction from council on how you want to proceed for adopting a budget. If we do not have this budget adopted by the 30th of this month, we'll have to shut down. We're done. We cannot expend any further. So I need some direction from you all about how you want to adopt the budget and what you need from me. And it'll need to go on your next meeting.
Yeah, I was kind of curious too, because I understand that was a little bit of an issue with IT and I thought it had been discussed.
No.
It had been discussed, to my knowledge, it had.
Mine as well.
Yeah, so-
You guys were included, but no one else was.
You didn't talk to Mohammed?
After the fact.
No, this is the fact right here. You've already talked to him, right?
But I don't feel like it's come to a resolution and that's my problem with it. is that we were just expected to vote yes on it. We weren't talked to about it, we weren't included on the decision, and as far as I'm aware of, we still don't have a solution to who's gonna be doing the permits and stuff, right, John? We don't.
We're
What are we voting yes on?
actually meeting tomorrow to kind of talk about those operational issues. Yeah.
That's the frustrating part, and I'm sorry, Gloria, that it's coming out on to your job, but I'm frustrated that we're expected to just vote yes on things we don't even know what we're voting yes on.
So you're voting on the expenditure, which is a neutral expenditure. There's not any greater expenditure.
And it's a category, it's in the resolution that and it's, right, it's a neutral.
So then my only comment is that maybe those things should be left out of the memo.
It should have been.
Very confusing.
Fair.
And it makes no sense, and the public is also reading those same things, and everybody is probably confused. And so if it's as simple as a neutral decision, would have been a lot easier to just explain it that way versus putting all these extra things in there about the details that we don't even have a say on.
I appreciate your comment. And that's fair. It is more of a, management thing. It shouldn't have gone into the memo. And I agree with what you just said.
So would you be in favor of rereading the resolution and somebody making a motion? Would have?
Yes, I don't think it's fair to stall Gloria or the budget because of poor management.
All right, resolution number 10, the resolution of the Common Council of the City of St. Helens, Oregon, adopting budget, making appropriations, and levying a certifying tax for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2024.
Motion to approve resolution number 2010.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve resolution number 2010. Councilor David Shelton.
Aye.
Councilor Sunday.
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard. And I'm not as well. Okay, now we're gonna do public comment on increase in utility fees. Kathy, you're on Zoom. Okay. Resolution 2012, a resolution establishing water, sewer, storm drainage, utility rates and charges for administrative rules.
Will we approve resolution number 2012?
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution 2012. Council President Shelton.
Aye.
Councilor Sunday.
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard.
No.
Okay, I'm aye as well. So that was, we're on approve and authorize for signature. 11, First Amendment to ORPD, Local Government Grant Program Agreement for St. Helens Riverwalk Phase 1. Full agreement with the state of Oregon for the St. Helens Scappoose Refinement Trail Project. 13, agreement with Columbia County for St. Helens Scappoose Refinement Trail Project. 14, agreement with Scappoose for St. Helens Scappoose Refinement Trail Project. A lot of the project.
Happy about it. Will we approve and or authorize for signature items 11, 12, 13, and 14?
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve and authorize for signature 11 through 14. Council President Shelton.
Aye.
Councilor Sunday.
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard.
Aye.
No, and I as well. Consent agenda for acceptance. 15, Library Board minutes dated April 8th, 2024. 16, Parks and Trails Commission minutes dated April 8th, 2024. 17, Planning Commission minutes dated April 9th, 2024. 18, Urban Renewal Agency Budget Committee minutes dated January 5th, 2022.
That we accept agenda items 15 through 18 as read.
Okay.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve consent agenda 15 through 18. Council President Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Sunday. Aye. Councilor Hubbard.
Aye.
And I as well. Consent agenda for approval, utility building adjustment, request for 555 Commons Drive, Foursquare Church, in the amount of $2,680. 20 city council minutes dated April 10th, April 17th, May 9th, and May 14th, 2024. 21 animal facility licenses. And 22 accounts payable bill list.
Would we approve consent agenda items 19 through 22?
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve consent agenda 19 through 22. Council President Shelton.
Aye.
Councilor Sunday.
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard. An aye as well. Don't believe we had anything from the work session earlier.
RFP, what?
So, well, that RFP, yeah, I'll talk a little bit about it. I think we have our legal counsel, has concerns.
Over our, just 10 minutes before the meeting started this afternoon, the attorney talked to me or reached out and said, you know, there's a problem with the score sheet. We need to pull it off the agenda. And I'm just like, how do you want to do that? But I've asked them to, at the meeting, I asked them to give a report and then they didn't say much. And I've asked them to prepare a memo that's going to go with the score sheet so that we can take the attorney's memos, whatever the deficiencies are in the scoring sheet, and then let the applicant, so the evaluation committee rescore those or those under those criteria. And I'm asking that as soon as possible. The question to the council is, you know, want to have a special meeting or do you want to wait till the 19th? And
Special meeting.
Special meeting.
and we'll, as soon as we get that happening, we'll turn it as fast as we can. And
So they'll go back out to the committee too.
we'll send a memo with their score sheet and ask for, you know, speedy.
Quick.
returns and then get out.
Can you,
Obviously, they seen something there and nobody can only be speculative.
something on the score sheet that they said was not complete, is that?
Right.
Now,
Yeah, the way that people filled them out, yeah.
well, I found out on the one about pricing.
Yeah.
It was confusing and
Mostly it's about price.
it was hard to come up with. A couple of them and were fine and others had nothing.
Yeah,
And it's like,
Yeah, how do you calculate?
we have really no parameters because we don't know any of the cost name.
Yep.
For future, and a couple people have commented on this, but in the beginning, it would be nice to have some kind of brief, even if it's on Zoom, just orientation about.
Yeah, it was very thorough document there.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit confusing, but but it is, it's just, yeah. Okay, so we'll all get memos on that soon.
Is that a special session?
Yep. Kathy, we need 24 or 48.
24, you have. You have a meeting on the 12th, but you don't want to wait that long.
What's our meeting on the 12th?
Joint planning commission.
Oh,
I won't be here, so
Yeah.
I prefer we do it before that.
that one snuck up on me. We'll look forward to that though. No, we don't want to mix the two. Okay, so that's coming. Any other work session items? I don't think so, right? Okay. Council President Chilton.
I have a statement that I prepared that I'd like to read. I had planned on sharing other things today, but I do feel like this is important, so I'm gonna read it. It was recently brought to my attention that there was some internal decisions made to cut or potentially lay off a staff member. This was not a position discussed back during the budget committee under ARPA funds. It's a different position. I encourage those that were a part of this decision to step forward and talk about why, but they chose not to. In efforts to be transparent and help shift the culture in that direction, I am stepping forward to state that I was not informed about it prior and was never a part of this. I support our city staff and do not want them to feel uncomfortable or uncertain about their jobs. That's it.
Councilor Quimby.
So I agree with that. I think it's just, not that we need to be in the weeds and we need to know everything that's going on, but, people talk and people come to us and they ask us questions and they want to know what's going on. It's sometimes a little embarrassing when people out in the community know things before I do. So just be nice to be involved in the process and give a little heads up sometimes. Grateful for the many Kiwanis members that showed up today. I appreciate them and appreciate all the work they do. I know it's never been my intention, and I've never heard of anybody say ties with service organizations that we don't want to continue to work with them and have a good relationship with them. So I'm not sure how that got started, but I hope whoever our contractor is, that we can find a way to move forward and work with all of our local service groups and organizations. Also thought it was interesting, the idea of a tourism committee. I'm not against the idea. I just hope that we can learn from past mistakes, because it sounds like it used to really be a mess. So I'm hoping we can, maybe some of those that were involved, and we can talk about what went wrong and how to move forward in a positive direction. I don't want to repeat the same mistakes that were made in the past. Hope that everyone's gonna show up for Citizens Day and 4th of July activities at Oklahoma Park. Should be a lot of good community fun and opportunity to meet with lots of your fellow citizens, and again, still lots of volunteer opportunities available at Citizens Day. So even if you have an hour, please get in touch. We're not gonna have your help. I too wanted to request that we reconsider public comment at our work sessions. I understand the meaning behind it and the thought process, but I know for me, it's hard to get up in front of a group like this and speak. I know some of our regulars make it look easy, but it can be intimidating, and I don't like the thought of getting rid of that. I would be more inclined to, even if we limited it to 15 minutes at the start of the meeting, or I've seen school districts and other places where they'll have a process where you can submit your topic ahead of time, but just to reconsider and having that open, like I say, even if it's 15 minutes, I would feel better than getting rid of it completely.
We don't have to, I mean, we can make a motion right now, I think we just did it with the head nod last time, right? We're just gonna direct the staff. Right? I mean, so this is an opportunity in council reports, anybody can make a motion too, so if you'd like to make a motion, I don't think it's a bad idea, I just was trying to look at our schedule, knowing we have attorneys waiting, you know, and the timelines, and we were able to.
I
do pretty good
understand that.
today.
And that was my thought process, maybe, like I say, limit it for 15 minutes, first come, first serve, that at least that gives 5 people the opportunity.
But I think there's been enough testimony too, is what I'm hearing, that. I think we
It's
should
important to people.
Yeah.
It is.
So,
And it doesn't always take up a lot of time. It's just those every once in a while where the room's full of, you know.
what,
Be more civil.
yeah, what do you think? You keep it,
Well, I think that anybody can ask to come on and have a position to talk.
yeah.
And they can also put it in writing, and for public speaking, if they want to get up in the public, they've got the evening one. And it's just when I've seen the same people do every session, that gets a little, that's the public, they're allowed to do that, so.
Yeah, and
I'm either way, it doesn't, you know.
and that was part of my. If I'm being completely honest, sometimes it's. So negative in the beginning of our workday to get started out. Okay, we get bashed, our staff gets bashed. I don't think that's positive affirmations for any of us. I just wanted to be able to start the day out really well. And I think we're all entitled to that. I think everybody should not have a safe, not hostile work environment, including us. And that's why I wanted to base that off of. That's if I'm being completely honest.
I'll admit, I felt the same way, and for a long time. Public comments were the least favorite part of coming to these meetings.
Oh, they still are. I'm just saying.
But, and as much as I disagree with some of the things that are said, I think that's people's right, and I recognize that we don't have to allow it, but I think.
I'm okay either way. I understand hearing testimony, if they don't have the opportunity to, can't make it here in the evening.
I'd like to make a motion that we continue to allow public comment at our work sessions.
I'll second that.
All right,
3 minutes still.
yeah, still 3 minutes. Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, say nay.
Hopefully Mark is fine with it.
Well, you should have been here.
The only other thing that I wanted to bring up, and this might not be a popular topic either, but it's just that we look into council compensation and decide if our current model is still appropriate. I will agree with Brady that last year I attended a session at the League of Oregon Cities specifically about council compensation, and it was interesting, but I don't think every city responded to the survey, but a lot of them did, and we are among the highest in the state. I want to be clear that there are other ways that councils compensate that they compensate their council members. Some of them provide members with cell phones, which we don't do. Some of them have insurance plans, which we don't do here. So there are other ways that it's done, and there's some people that don't have anything at all. So I would just ask that we look at our model and have a discussion if it's still appropriate or if it needs some adjustment.
Well, can we kick that down a few months out?
Yeah, I don't think it-
You know, got a lot going on right now.
I don't think there's any rush, but I wanted to get
Sure.
it out there and put it on
Yeah.
get it on your minds.
That's all I've got.
All right, thanks, Brandon. Council Hubbard,
I just, would like to see the, RFP. Go through and stick to it, get it done and move on. Probably not too long, so. I'm ready whenever you say show up.
All right.
Okay, that's it.
hey, yeah, it was good to see the Kiwanis here, and it's I'm looking forward to the parade coming up on Saturday, the 15th. Tomorrow night we have our music in the park, in Plymouth Park, come on out. That is at 6 o'clock, and then we did a little video today of 4th of July not happening down here on the waterfront as well because of the construction, and the permit only allows fireworks over the river. And it would be just too congested down here, that there's, you know, lots of activity down here. Everything's still wide open, but it would. I've been hearing a little bit of comment, and I'll just speak to that, because I don't too much, but about the movie happening, which is literally maybe 150 to 200 people tops. Versus when you have 13 nights or fireworks, it's thousands of people down here. We're asking, why can you have a movie? Well, that brings in revenue too, and dollars to our community. And not have the events down here. We'd love to have it down here. We're under construction. We are putting pipes in the ground, and we deserve as citizens a nice waterfront. And this is the year that it was set to happen, and we knew that. And it was do it all at one shot and get it done, get in, get out. So next year will be the civil side of things, should be done by the end of this year, real close. And then the park is set for be done by May of next year, so it'll be all over and done with. And there's a little bit of heartache that we're all going through, and growing pains. So there's that. Better Citizens Day coming up the 22nd. We need volunteers still. If you'd like to volunteer, please see any one of us. Good time, come on out, music, car show, free burger, a hot dog, and just disconnect from this and just converse with one another and look at some classic cars and dance to some music. That's what it's about. That's really what it was truly created for. Get out and enjoy one of our biggest parks. So I know I'm forgetting something. I think coming back to the tourism committee, John, I think that's a really good idea. You have carried it for long enough, and you keep getting beat up over it. Even today, with all this that's going on with the attorneys wanting to.
Trying to move it forward.
Yes, I think that it getting turned back into the tourism committee, hopefully will be a good thing, hopefully. Because it didn't end that way, and Jeannie Carlson spoke on that, so. I think she took off.